How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Airport CEO and welcome back to Belfast City Airport. Today was going to be the final episode of the series, but there's a few things that I'd like to do before we go and bring in all of the small aircraft and general aviation flights. And we're going to get started by going in to the international terminal. So you might remember that passport control on the way out of this terminal used to be a complete nightmare. You might then notice that it's not a complete nightmare anymore. It is kind of busy. There's still a lot of people going through it, but you've probably already spotted these two new escalators. Basically, it's very similar to the overflow security idea that we built in the last episode. We now have overflow passport control, which is about the same size as the passport control upstairs. We've essentially doubled the capacity for people to get through here, and it means that we don't have people tailing back in here the way that we did. It's working absolutely perfectly. I also moved this walk-a-lator a little bit by extending this corridor down here, because previously it was blocking the way out of here. People couldn't come down these escalators and go into this corridor, so now they can. A lot of them head underground to go through passport control, then back up above ground right about here. And quite a few of them look to be going back into the airport, which is kind of wild. I think a lot of them might be going to the bathroom, which, I mean, that's fair enough. Obviously, a lot of them are going to baggage claim as well. And speaking of baggage claim, it turns out that the departures part of this baggage bay wasn't working for the longest time. I don't know how long it wasn't working for, but these conveyor belts right here and then further underground hadn't been built. Essentially, I'd used planning mode to lay these things out and just never bothered to complete the construction. So now that we've done that, I had to take it underground further, obviously, because of this whole thing. But now that we've done that, baggage is heading out to the planes properly, and we seem to be doing okay. We are back up to 140 flights per day. Tomorrow has 128 scheduled, which could be better, but I'm sort of okay with it. We're doing all right. We're still making horrendous amounts of money, horrendously good amounts of money, but horrendous regardless. And our reputation is actually not bad. Current airport rating, 92%. Average airport rating, 92%. Services available to passengers could be better, and that's probably because half of the airport terminals don't actually have any services available to the passengers. For example, in here, just recently got this shop, which has done over 1,300 sales today. And we have this guy down here. Are you going to close? No. Okay. So this guy managed to hit the sales target yesterday. That's kind of fantastic news. So both of these are open and working brilliantly. But if we head over towards our helicopters, it's a little bit of a different story. This franchise room, for example, has closed at some point. So let's get ourselves, I mean, wait, Bell Beer's not here anymore? Oh yeah, Bell Beer was down in the departures area of the original terminal. Ooh. Okay. I might have to consider where exactly we're going to put Bell Beer. I mean, it could go in the helicopter terminal, but you know, I don't think I want it to. I think we'll put the, I think we'll go for the Hilltop Cafe in here and see if that works out. I have my doubts. It does only need 40 sales per day. So hopefully we can get 40 people going out to the helicopters that are interested in that kind of thing. And if we can't, then that's a bit of a travesty, really. And you know, now that I think about it, just down here, I want to very quickly build a bathroom. I've kind of decided that I'm going to just slowly move my way across all these terminals until we get to the space where we're going to build a new one. And have I done this on purpose? Where we have this like little cutaway part here? Is that deliberate? It's here as well. Is that because I had different doors along here, or have I just been an idiot with my security layout? I think I've just been an idiot with the security layout. So let me just go along here and say that basically everything along that wall is also a part of the secure zone, so people can get through there just a little bit quicker. And like I said, we'll go in here and just very quickly build ourselves a bathroom. And what I think we'll do here is go for something, it doesn't need to be huge. We can do this, we can do this, we can go to bathroom and lay out the room like so. And I guess for the doors, just because I think it kind of makes sense. We'll do the doors, I guess right here, or maybe right. We'll go for right here is what we'll go for. Actually, no, you get off this walk-a-later straight into the bathroom. That seems like a great idea. That makes a little bit more sense to me. We'll just get ourselves a whole bunch of stalls. We'll get ourselves a whole bunch of sinks as well. Get the floors done, get this thing open, and then move into the medium terminal. And I guess when it comes to the medium terminal, we do have a lot of space to play with here. So I think what we'll do is come down this way. And I was talking in the last episode about things like airline lounges and all of that good stuff. So maybe we play around with that idea here today. But I think what we'll do to start with is just create this big old space. And then we'll come over here and get ourselves a nice large door right about there. And that's going to let everybody out of here that gets stuck, but it's also going to let my staff sort of go around this thing rather than through this thing, which I think makes a little bit more sense. We'll also get ourselves, I guess, this kind of thing going on. So we have, you know what, maybe this, how do I want to do this pattern? Maybe just that is kind of what we go for. I don't know if I love that, but I think it's what we're going to go for. And then the space in here, just for now, I'm going to put a little bit of light concrete just so I can kind of, you know, see it as its own thing. And then in terms of what this is going to be, I mean, we could do a restaurant down here. We could do a shop down here. But the thing is, there's not that much traffic in this area. I think it would make a lot more sense to put something that's going to need that traffic in this area because we have people coming down here, whereas the furthest people go here is this set of seats. The other benefit is that this particular concourse has 7 flights attached to it. This one has 3. So this might actually just be an airline lounge is what I'm thinking. So if we build something like this, what is this complaining about? This is, oh, hello. I really wish it wouldn't flash the screen bright red, but you know what? It's fine. I've gotten to the point with this game where I've turned the lights in my office up really bright to compensate for the flash of red that I get every time I click on something in this game. It's kind of silly that I need to do that, but you know what? I'm not going to keep complaining about the red flash. I do it almost every episode now. I love this game. I genuinely do. It's one of my favorite. I love coming back to this and Software Inc. and all of those other games that are like yearly staples, and I genuinely love coming back to this. That's like the one thing. Anyway, in terms of lounges, I forgot we could probably do this with helicopters. We could do any airline. And I think for now, maybe we do just any airline. And then we need an information desk, a buffet table, and then obviously any airline. So the airline lounges information desk, we got this guy. Now this I think looks great. I think this is the kind of desk that you want to have for the lounge. So we'll have this desk like right here. And then what I'd like to do is get myself just a bit of wall going along the back of it here. And what way do I want to have like a whole seating area? I suppose we could do like a whole seating area. So if I go 4 here, it gives us this gap in the middle, which I think is kind of cool. I think it's interesting anyway. It's maybe not the most practical, but it's what we can go for. Unless I just build like a corridor that goes around, and maybe that is what we do. I want something cool. I want seats in here, you know? I want it to have like a waiting area type deal. So maybe this is like our waiting area. Then you go to the desk, you go in and around. That's kind of interesting. So we'll do that instead. We'll get rid of you. Also, you've probably noticed already, I have got simulated construction turned off already because we've kind of just gotten to the point where I just think everything takes so long to do that I think it's fair. I think we've gotten to the point where having simulated construction off is just fair. I still have to pay for everything. I just don't have to wait for it to build. And honestly, we're basically in sandbox mode anyway, so it really doesn't matter. And you know, I don't know what possessed me to go with this as the color scheme, but this is the color scheme for this generic airline lounge. I don't want to say it's rustic, it's retro, it's a lot of brown and beige, going on with some tiles underneath this guy. I'm also surprised at just how many people are coming down here. I really wasn't expecting it to be quite this popular, and it looks like there's more on the way. So maybe this space over here gets an airline lounge and something else. That might not be a bad idea. We do have this dedicated crown stand still, and we do have the Atom Air stand as well. So we could play around with those a little bit, maybe give each airline its own dedicated thing, see if we can get more flights from those airlines. I mean, looking in here, it's a little difficult to see that we're doing all right. I mean, we have 2 crown flights coming in today. We have one from Atom Air right there. We're 135 flights. Saturday's up to, well, down to 117. Again, that might change. It's definitely a possibility. The Crown Airlines doesn't love me, so maybe we should build them some kind of lounge. That might be something that they'd be open to. It might be something that they're happy about. So I guess the question becomes, do I want to keep this big old open space in the middle? I guess it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but at the same time, I don't really want to change up the entire layout of the airport. So what we'll do is chop this bit out of here, and I'm going to go in there with a wall up to about this spot. And I guess we want to figure out just how large this new lounge is going to be. So this is going to be 9 by 18. I don't know if that's big enough. I imagine it would be. So if we do 9 by 18 there, and I do 9 by 18 here, that's 2 separate lounges, and that can be for both Atom Air and for Crown Airlines. And then down this way, maybe this is where we sort of break the pattern that we've had going on, and we say that this is where we can build something like a restaurant or a shop. We do have, I think, quite a few shop rooms still available. I don't think we have any restaurants. Do we have restaurants in this space? We really don't. I don't know which one I want to do though, restaurant or shop. I'm kind of thinking restaurant down here and then a teeny tiny little shop up in this space. In fact, I kind of wonder, could I get away with doing like a 10 by 11 space here? Is that big enough for any? We do have some 1 stars. Is it big enough for any 2 stars? It is. They just want shelves and a cashier desk. Okay. Like I said, I want to do our smaller airlines today. I absolutely do. That is 100% part of the plan. But I'm very much not against just going along here and making all these terminals that little bit better. This feels like part of the process, you know? This feels like something we should be doing. If we're moving to wrap up the series today, then it only makes sense, I think, is that we make sure everything is as good as it can be. Now, how many cashier desks do they want? They want just 1. So we can go in here, we can go to you, and it needs to be this way around, which I am completely fine with. And then it was 4 shelves. So what we'll do is just go for, let's see. We have these guys, which are pretty good. And we'll do 1, 2, 3. And we can maybe do some pedestals in here as well. So we have these guys, and we'll do, that's 4. Once this one goes down, once the autosave's done. So that's 4, and I guess we'll just do, I guess something like that kind of works. We could do some pedestals down here. I really don't think we need them. I think that's honestly fine. Maybe just a couple of trees, little palm trees down in those corners. Same with up here as well. So we have a bit of greenery going on, and we should be able to get ourselves FlyGo, which we absolutely can. And that's the perfect spot for a little shop. Let's just give it some tiles, which I think in this case is going to be, I don't know, this one. This one seems pretty good. We'll go for that. We'll get it opened up. It should open up pretty much immediately. And hopefully it's going to have some good business. That's the goal. It is definitely blocking the exit, which is health and safety would have a field day with that. But you know, that's it's fine. It's totally fine. And so with this thing open, we're looking for 130 sales per day, and it does seem like it's going to be quite busy, which is great. It is in a very busy part of the airport, which is also good news. So let's come down here and figure out what exactly our restaurant's going to look like. And I think it really doesn't need to be, it doesn't need to be huge. That's for sure. It absolutely doesn't need to be huge. But I think what we'll do is go for, we could do 9 by 20. I think I'm going to do, let's do something like this. Let's do 16 by 20. So we have a little bit more space to play with. That seems good. I like that. I'm very tempted to go a little bit further and get rid of that door down there at the bottom left, but 16 by 22 seems a bit much. We'll do 16 by 20. Now, something I think I will do with these lounges is pretty much make them the same. I think we can kind of get away with that here. So we'll just build one and then obviously go ahead and build the other. So I suppose the way we're going to do this is put the info desk right there. I'm going to have to take out this window and I'm going to take that one out as well. I was kind of hoping I'd leave those in, but just for now, we'll get rid of them and replace them with some walls. So the info desk is going to be right there. I'm thinking a couple of chairs right in the middle with something kind of like this. Now this does block it in a little bit. Can I get a smaller info desk? I absolutely can. Is it actually any smaller though? No, it's just horizontal. That doesn't really, it's not really what I was looking for. I'm not gonna lie. Not really what I was looking for, but you know what? We'll go for it. Smaller info desk, that's fine. Let me do a door right here. I don't know if we need that, but I suppose it makes sense for staff to sort of like get back there. And then this is going to be our little entrance to like the main part of the lounge. So a door right about there. Now, obviously a good airline lounge needs a buffet table. I do love a good buffet table myself. So annoyingly, this one doesn't fit centrally, which is great. So we'll do one there. I don't know if I want to do 2 of them. I think I do. I don't know if we need 2 of them, but I think I can get away with 2 of them. And then in terms of seating, we'll get ourselves a little bit of this booth seating. We'll do 2 right there, 2 right there, 2 over here, and 2 down here. We'll get ourselves some modern armchairs, sort of facing them a little bit like this. And I think that's about as much as we're going to do. I really don't expect these lounges to be super popular because it is going to be specifically for certain airlines, right? So I think we can kind of get away with this. I think a little bit of bench seating just out here this was kind of what I had in mind for anyone waiting to speak to this front desk. And then maybe we do, I mean, we could do some couches if I wanted to. I don't really have anywhere for them, but I could, or I could clear out maybe one of the buffet tables and just get a little bit more seating because it does seem a little bit sparse, doesn't it? It definitely needs a little bit of love. So if I was to go in and copy and paste you, I can do that right there. That I think is much better. And so with everything copied and pasted, I guess what we do now is we go through and we start setting up the colors for everything. Now, I don't know how crazy I necessarily want to go with these airline colors, but I do think a strong bit of the crown purple through there is a good idea. And then we could kind of have sort of a gold on the tables to match the crown itself. I'd be slightly oh no, you know what? We'll stick, you know what? Actually, let's go for black. I think that's a little better, to be honest. It doesn't quite match the crown's vibe, but it's definitely a little bit better, a little bit less rough on the eyes is what we'll go for. I'll put a couple of plants in though, just to spruce the place up a little bit. Good old tree joke for you there. You're welcome. And oh man. And sorry, I'm glad I find it funny. We'll put that down as the floor. No, I think we'll go for maybe something a bit more gray, or maybe we do yellow to bring that sort of gold color in. Oh, no, maybe we don't. Maybe we don't do bright yellow in here. Maybe we just stick with like that darker color. Is it like a lighter gray? Yeah, this one's, it's sort of a bluish gray, but the purple might be a bit much. You know what? I'm not worried about it. Let's let's get you set up for, where is Crown Airlines? Right there. And this is going to be opened, hopefully? Are they going to be happy with me? I think we just need staff for this to open up, right? Requires additional staff to operate. Yeah, someone will be along shortly. Are you staff? There we go. Where are you going? Okay, have we got more staff? There we go. So now it's up and running, I think. Again, I don't know if anyone's going to be happy about it, but yeah, the airline, I imagine, will be thrilled. We have some people up here that are waiting to get on to a Crown flight, so that's good. Let's very quickly then go and figure out what color this is. I didn't save. I've only just saved the Crown purpley color, so I need to figure out what this is. And this is sort of like a peachy, kind of more red than I've got right there. I think it's more like that color. That's pretty close, actually. That is pretty good. So we'll just repaint all of these guys to match, and then go down and basically do exactly the same thing. So all of these chairs. This is going to be a room that is a little bit more pleasant to look at, I think. Now, I do think it's worth mentioning, I'm not expecting any miracles with these airlines. I think we still have a ways to go. Actually, in saying that, we now have more Crown flights down here. So that's actually progress, and they are no happier with me than they were before, which I don't love that. But having more medium Crown flights does mean that we might see some people come down here into the Crown lounge, and there's someone. There we go. We get a couple of people coming down now. Taking forever to check in by the looks of it. I'm really not sure why that's the case. Can you guys like go? There you go. Okay. That's what we're looking for. We get people coming to chill, waiting to get on their flight, and away they go when they do. Now we need to figure out this restaurant. Now, is this big enough for wine and cheese? It is. Interestingly, wine and cheese is more of a shop than a restaurant. So do I want to do more of a shop than a restaurant? I actually don't know. I'm kind of thinking of saving Bell Beer for the final stand with the small aircraft. So I think maybe, I don't know. I feel like it has to be a cafe. I feel like Bistro Boheme or something like that, or a sushi place or Italian kitchen. Well, actually, let's bring back the Italian kitchen. It needs 3 cooking stations, a cafe counter, and a bunch of places for people to sit. So let's absolutely bring all of that back. So the cooking stations, I don't know if we're going to get them to fit the way I'd like them to, which is a little bit unfortunate. So if I put one there and there, that actually does kind of work. We'll put a bunch of them down there, and that'll be all right. And then we can go and get some, I don't know, some counters, I guess. We got some counters kind of across the back wall there. So all the cooking's done down in that back wall, which I'm completely okay with. We can do some food counters kind of across here. So we'll do something like that. And I think something like that. We can hopefully get ourselves a couple of decent, what am I looking for here? Cashier counters. Do I want to do the large ones? I feel like we could do the large ones. I feel like we should do the large ones. And there we go. The Italian kitchen is back up and running. I think it looks pretty decent. We've got some people coming down here to get some food already as well, which is fantastic news. So hopefully this place can reach its sales target. We have a lot of people coming down there actually, so I imagine it will. This guy has just opened and is already at 77 of 130 sales today, so that's fantastic news as well. So I don't imagine, based on the number of people down here already, I think it'll be fine. I think we'll be all right is what we're gonna be right there. And it does seem like our services available to passengers is starting to increase a little bit as well. We're seeing this up at 53% now, 62% right now. So things are starting to get a little bit better on that front as well, which means the airlines are going to be that little bit happier with me. I'm also noticing that we do now have 4 Crown flights scheduled for today, which is great. We're up to 18% approval with that airline as well, with Atom Air up to 13%, which, I mean, neither of those are good, but Crown has gone up by like maybe 8% and Atom Air has gone up by like 2%. So it's, you know, I'll take it. I'll take it. It's not terrible. Although, you know what I think I will do, just to try and break this all up a little bit because we do have this massive empty space in the middle here. I think I'm going to do another shop. I think we can get away with another shop in here. And the way I'm going to do it is something like this. And we're going to come all the way down to like here, which is maybe a little bit larger than it needs to be. But I think this will be good. So we're going to do a little bit of terminal walls down here as we usually do. And we'll do the same thing up here the same way we always do. I am going to get myself some decorations, get myself some hedges to block in some of that space. We'll do some hedges here as well. And we'll do some hedges down here as well. Now, what kind of space are we looking at with this thing? This is actually big enough to have some 4-star shops, which is fantastic. I think we will go for some of the slightly larger ones. I think something like Traveler's Shop might be the idea, because we have a lot of space in the international terminal, and that's where things like these 5- and 4-star shops can go. So Traveler's Shop wants 6 shelves and a couple of cashier desks. So I think what we'll do is we'll go in here, we'll get ourselves some shelves, and I think we just go for something like these basic ones here, and we put it somewhere like that. I think we do something like this, and then I think we can go in here and start using things like the pedestals. So we'll do 1, 2. We can do 1, 2, and I can probably space these out a little differently as well. Maybe 1 and 2 there. Maybe, I don't know, 1 and 2 there as well. We'll do the same thing up at this end just to, you know, again, space things out a little bit. So wait, did I do those the same way? I did not. We want to leave a little bit of a gap right there, so they're spaced out this way instead. I'm gonna need to figure out where the cashier counters are gonna go. That's gonna be a little trickier because I think they're gonna have to go in the middle, which I might be able to make that look cool. But what we'll do is something like this and something like this, and then the cashier counters, oh, the shop counters are slightly larger than I'd hoped for. Can I can't really get them in the middle, so I'll tell you what. Let's go into stands again. We'll do the slightly smaller ones because I think that might then let me do some shop counters in here. I think I might be wrong in this. Again, they're spaced out really badly. That's kind of a shame. I was hoping I could be a little bit more creative with this, but apparently not. I mean, well, I can. There's not a whole lot of creativity to go into this. Let's be honest. It's just, I'm kind of just throwing things at the wall to see what sticks at the moment. And honestly, thus far, things are sort of sticking. So I'm kind of okay with it. Up at this end, let's do this. Let me get some hedges in here for across the back of the cashier counters. And then, you know what? We have this middle space right here. We can do some pedestals. We can do something that looks cool. Or we can just use maybe some pedestals to sort of, I don't know, block this out a little bit. So maybe, yeah, maybe just a couple of pedestals like that. I'm actually kind of okay with that. Yeah, let's open up let's get a contract. We'll go for a, what was it, Traveler's Shop right there. So we'll get that signed. That place should open in no time at all. And what we can do is go in here with, let's do some tiles just to change it up a little bit. And that should be all right. People will walk through there. I'm kind of okay with that. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think what we could do is maybe, I don't know if we want to do hedges down the side here. I think we can avoid doing some hedges down the side. We could do maybe a little single bit of hedging in there, and that's really not what I wanted. Just something like that. That's, again, not what I wanted. I need to put that security zone back in there now. There we go. That's, I think that's fine. Yeah, I think this is okay. I don't know if it's going to be popular. I don't know if people are going to use it. I hope they do. It's 200 sales. That might be asking a lot, but we'll find out. And you know, I figured it probably wasn't a bad idea to get another shop in here. I don't think either of these guys are going to stay in business for very long. It seems like Traveler's Shop is doing terribly and Power is doing worse. I don't know if that's because all of my passengers are wanting to get straight to the flights, or if they're going to lounges and ZTs rather than the shops up here. I mean, it doesn't really matter. They're probably also going over here. Unless this place is doing bad in terms of, no, this place is doing just fine. This place is doing just fine. So maybe 3-star shops aren't really what these guys are looking for. Maybe it's more of a 2-star kind of business. It looks good though. It's filled out the space. It's kind of directing people around a little bit. We got some info screens here. We got some more chairs in here as well. It's just really nicely filled out that concourse, and it looks, I think this is sort of the best layout that we've had for a departures area so far. So I'm really quite happy with this. And so I guess that kind of brings me back to the international terminal. I want to get another bathroom in here. I think that would be a good idea. Just get a little bathroom right here in the middle. Seems like a great place for it. We can go in here with just the bathroom zone like so. It can't cross different zones, which is unfortunate. So it's going to have to be this, which is totally fine. And then in terms of toilets, we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. We'll get rid of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 right there. And I guess we'll do some sinks just along here. So I'll have 6 sinks for 10 toilets. It's a bit of, it's a lot of open space, but honestly, it's totally fine. It's really not the end of the world. We'll get the usual tiles that we go for. We'll get ourselves a nice medium door for it, and we'll get this thing opened up. And then the space on either side of this, I'm basically thinking could be shops, restaurants, whatever. I don't know if we need more restaurants up here, and I would like to get some stuff into at least this middle concourse. This whole space over here, honestly, we could probably get rid of a lot of that. We could probably get, we should probably get some walk-a-lators in here, to be quite honest with you. So let's see if that's a thing we can do, if we actually do that ahead of getting the new restaurants in here. And yeah, based on based on the sheer size of what we have going on, I think walk-a-lators will be a great addition to this entire space. We'll do this. We'll swing it around and do one right there and one right there. And can I get a little one in the middle? Is it small enough? It is, and it fits right in the middle where I would want it to. That is perfect. So that'll get people back and forth that little bit quicker, which is great. I really don't feel like we need this entire upper space here. So I think we can probably successfully take out at least a chunk of that and kind of force people down into this this lower area. And then once everybody's out of there, I think I'm going to just demolish part of the terminal. Unfortunately, I can't demolish right up to where I have the walk-a-lators, but we can get rid of part of it. Or I guess we could just close it off, because no one's going to be going out there anyway. So we'll just block this up and kind of keep the walk-a-lators there. It does split it into separate security zones, but that gets people back and forth that much quicker, which is what we want. And I suppose we should look into something similar for here. My concern in doing this is, oh, this thing fits so nicely, but it is going to block the bathrooms, unfortunately. What about the medium one? Medium one's not much better. Small one, I think we can do. I think we can do a small little walk-a-lator. I think we can get away with that. I think we'll do one here, and we'll do one here. We'll do one right about there, and we'll do one right about there. And that kind of gives me space for the entrances and exits for these shops / restaurants as well. Kind of just some doors at either end of it. That seems like a good way to go. And then I kind of wonder, can I do the same thing for the rest of this? I need people to be moving quickly. That's sort of my thing right now, is I need them moving quickly, because I do think this entire terminal is maybe a little bit too big for them. Now, I could do this. It is going to block the bathrooms though if I double it up. So I'll tell you what, small walk-a-lator, and let's just do, I really don't want to block the bathrooms. So we'll go for, I guess we'll go here, and we'll go here, and the same thing on the other side, right about here and right about there. And again, that's kind of just going to force people around. It's going to get them moving a little bit quicker. We can get some walk-a-lators in here at some point as well, but that right away is such an improvement. Can I get a small one here without blocking things? Not really. I guess I don't need to worry too much about this side of things though, because people they're going like underneath, right? They're not coming up this way. So I could probably just do like a medium walkulator in here somewhere. I could do it there, but it's going to be going right up against a wall. I don't know if I like that. I also don't know. This space is quite weird the way I've got this laid out. I just realized. Could I lay this out in a better way? I don't know where all these guys are going. They're all going underneath here to get into the passport control space. You know what? I think we're fine. I think we're all right. I don't think there's as much of a concern here. This concourse is a little bit closer. It was mostly this one over here, and really it's these two stands that I think need the speed. So we'll be all right. Let's just get a couple of shops or restaurants or whatever into some of this space just to see if people want to use them. If they don't, that's okay. All right, so I figured we'd get started with some slightly smaller shops, and we do only have 2 that will go in here. So we'll do Turner here on the left, and then over here on the right, we are going to have Quick Stop, and we'll see if they end up working out. We'll see if they end up being popular. They're going to be pretty, I mean, they're exactly the same layout, but they are right there as people get through passport control. It's like the first thing so many people are going to see is these shops along here. And that's kind of why I'm trying to put all of my shops in this space. Now, I am thinking a little bit more about these spaces, and I am thinking a little bit more that maybe airline lounges, maybe, because we are sort of running out of shops. And I don't want to use too many of them because I do want shops in the final terminal. So I'm kind of thinking we board this up with a wall. We get a little bit of wall right there. And I'm sort of thinking that we make this an airline lounge. I just think it makes sense. I just do. So that's what we're going to do. Is we're going to get ourselves an airline lounge in here, because apparently that's what I'm doing now, is building airline lounges. So we'll try and make these as symmetrical as we can. This one is 26 by 8. This one was also 26 by 8, which is perfect. So what we'll do is we will start by getting some walls that come up here, and we'll get a wall that goes up to here. We are going to need space for a desk, which is 4 across, if I remember right. So we'll do something like this. So the desk will be here. You go around the desk and you get in. So over on this side, we want to go, that's 4, that's 6 right there. So exactly the same thing. This is the space for the lounge itself. So if we go in here, we can get ourselves the buffet table, which in this case fits really nicely right at the back wall. Now we're going to need the small version of this desk, which, like I said, is going to go here and right about, have I done that right? No, it goes on this side. There we go. Figured it out. We got there in the end. And then I guess for the seating situation, well, what way do I want to do that? I think some of these guys might be in order. We have 6 right here. Ooh, that does make things slightly tricky. I guess we'll do a couple of these guys. We'll do a couple by the wall. You know what? Let's just do this. Let's see how many of these I can do. Let me get my my hedges in here, because I do like some hedges. Let me get some good old tables in here as well. And I think we just copy and paste this down. I think that's what we go for. So copy and paste all of you to right about there and to right about there. I am looking at this now and realizing that leaving a bit more of a gap might have been an idea, because now how do people get in there? So maybe we take this out is what we do. And I think that's the play. It's not much. It's really not much. But I think it's good enough for an airline lounge. So let's get a door here, a door here, and a door here. And then we can sort of copy and paste this design over to the other side as well. And here's the benefit of having all these doors. Just so we're clear, all of these doors will mean that it is, at the very least, nice and quiet, which I don't know about you, but the times that I've been in airline lounges, I do like them to be nice and quiet. So I would appreciate it at the very least. That's how I'm going to choose to look at this. Now we've got our everything in here. Let's figure out the floor. Let's figure out if we're giving these 2 specific airlines, and then let's just get this thing opened up. And I've got to be honest, I don't know if I do want to give any of these 2 specific airlines. We do have a lot of OK Air and Zoom flights, but it might take a while for those to get reorganized if we start assigning stands. But I'm not really against doing that, so I think maybe that is what we do. I think we go in here and we say that this one can be for, that's OK Air Vintage. We're looking for regular old OK Air right there. And where is this stand now that I think about it? This is international flights. Can I find stand 21? Hold on a minute. You are stand 21. Okay, so stand 21 is right there. Stand 22 is right there. So let's do Zoom for this one since they're right next to each other. And that is hopefully going to be for the best. That's how we're going to figure this out. If I go into decorations, I can get myself some some detailing here. We've got the OK Air sign. So we'll put it, I'm going to say right here. And we go to the other side and do the Zoom one right over here. So Zoom was right here. We'll put it right about there. And I guess we could do the same thing for the, lounges, right? We can do the Zoom logo. I don't know if I like that. I really don't know if I like that, but we'll go for it. And we'll get the OK Air one as well. Just right about there. Definitely looks better. Can I do this? It is obviously upside down from our perspective, but it makes sense if you think about someone walking into the room. And then the same thing with this guy. We'll put the Zoom one right about there. Okay, so that gives me a color scheme to work with. Let's do the same thing with this. So let's get you set up for, where is it? Okay, Air is right there. Let's get you set up for Zoom Airlines. Right? No, that's not the right one. That is not the right one. Zoom is right there. And we should have some people coming by. So in terms of color schemes, Zoom's going to be easy. We kind of already have the colors. It's not the exact shade of blue, but I think it's close enough that I can kind of get away with this. So we'll do the blue. Why is this not painting? There we go. We'll do this and we'll do the light blue for the tables. And honestly, I think it's close enough. I kind of do. Well, maybe it's kind of more, ooh, what color are we looking for here? I really should just use Photoshop to do this, but I think it's more like that. So we'll do the slightly lighter one so it actually kind of matches, just because I really won't forgive myself if I don't. Oh, I was not expecting OK Air to be quite as popular as it is, but that's kind of cool. Same with the Zoom one over here. We got a lot of people going in there. And when it comes to these shops, this one's already reached its goal. This guy is doing fantastically. This one has reached its goal and you are struggling, which, yeah, fair enough. I've kind of figured that would happen. We've definitely got people moving around that fair bit faster though, which is great news. Everyone's kind of getting to their flights. We're back above $14 million as well, which makes me very, very happy. So I think we can go ahead and leave it there for today. I wasn't really expecting to, I don't know what we've done today. I feel like I've done a whole lot of nothing, but realistically, I mean, I started out my sesh today by sort of fixing up the passport control situation, which is no longer a problem, at least on that side of the airport. Still kind of a problem over here, probably, but I'll figure that out. And then we've actually managed, aside from all of the complaints that we're seeing, we've actually managed to get people going to a bunch of shops and lounges. We've got quite a nice little selection of lounges as well. We have 2 currently for the international terminal, and I would like to get more. I do think we're going to want to get a lounge for all airlines, and I think we have the space to do that. We have plenty of space in here for a nice big lounge, and we could probably get a decent one over here as well. And then, you know, we'll probably not really do anything over this way other than maybe, well, I guess we could do a lounge down here as well. I don't know. We'll figure it out. When it comes to the helicopters, they got a bathroom. They'll be all right. They got a bathroom and they have a shop, which is actually working for them. So that's totally fine. These guys have this place, which is doing great work. And of course they have a lounge down here that is available to everybody. That's quite popular. We've got good old ZTs down here, which is doing just fine. Couple of lounges here as well. And these guys, yeah, really not expecting these shops to be around for much longer, but honestly, that's totally fine. It's not the end of the world. So I think, speaking of the ends of things, I was gonna have this be our last episode. The intro that you heard at the start of this episode, a little bit of behind the scenes. The intro that will have been at the start of this episode was recorded after the fact. I haven't recorded it yet. Because when I introduced this episode, I said, welcome to what's going to be the final episode of Airport CEO. And I've now spent the last couple of hours going around just building little things, just tweaking little things, just trying to make this place look a little better, function a little better, be a little better, trying to make the customers a little bit happier. Our average satisfaction is, well, average rating is 92%. I think that's pretty good. General aviation doesn't like me because they don't exist. And the passengers, I mean, the fact that they don't have services available to everybody across the board, that's definitely making them a little bit unhappy. Security staff skill could be better as well, but we're doing all right, to be honest. I do think we're doing all right. Occasionally we have something loaded onto an aircraft that shouldn't be there, but the point being, this was going to be the last episode. Obviously it isn't. The next one might be. We're very, very close. The last thing I want to do is build another terminal and have that be for both general aviation and for small commercial aircraft. So we will probably get maybe 8, 9, or 10 small aircraft stands. We'll probably get maybe 6 general aviation, and that'll be about it. That'll be the goal. We'll fill in this space with that. It'll be 4 terminals for just about everything. The 3 runways are doing great. And yeah, that'll be this year's run of Airport CEO. But obviously, we'll talk about that more when we get around to building all of that. That's not the end. It's not today's thing. There is more still to come. So, thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.